The Blue House. I awaken in a violent coughing fit. Instinctively, I roll over to spit out whatever is caught in my throat. My head throbs in pain as I dislodge the phlegm I nearly choked on. Eyes creaking open, I become aware of my surroundings, my palms now covered in small cuts as I realize the floor beneath me is paved in broken bits of debris. I retreat back onto my mattress. Only now do I notice the mattress is damp and covered in dark stains. This isn't my bed. I struggle to look around with a pounding headache. Wherever I am, it looks like a basement, one that's tilted at an uncomfortable angle, which only seems to worsen my migraine. Rotting garbage is piling up around the room. Along one wall is a series of posters that have been eaten away beyond recognition. Leading my eyes up the stair to a door that has been left ajar, I can see a pale blue glow seeping out from the other side of the door. I stumble to my feet, relieved to know that whoever or whatever brought me here left me with my boots to brave the glass-covered floor. Heading towards the stairs, I lose my footing and fall into what looks like it might be a washing machine. With a loud clang, I knock over a box that had been balancing on the top of the machine. I freeze for a moment. Believing nothing heard me, I pick up the box to put it back. Glancing at the box, I get a sinking feeling. The box is a pale purple and deep blue. At the top, it simply reads, "Cereal." The rest is completely blank. I set the box down and reach towards the railing. It's oddly soft. It feels rotten. I hoist myself over the stairs and pull myself towards the door, each step creaking quietly. The hall is bathed in the blue light, more rotting trash piled up along the halls. I creep towards a large window set just above an old metal radiator. I press my face to the glass, unable to see anything. I turn my attention back to the hall. I find myself in an alcove with what looks like the front door. I grip the knob and pull with all my might. It's not locked. It's more like a solid wall with a handle bolted on. This combination with the cereal box gives me the impression that I'm not in a house, more something that just looks like a house. This idea is cemented further once I notice a clock on the wall, but the face is completely blank. The hands move, but not like they should. The second hand moves much less frequently than it should. The minute hand seems to creep backwards. This whole place is a facade built from a faulty memory. Further down the hall, the ceiling fan turns slowly, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Below the fan is a large set of wooden double doors, stuck slightly open. I sneak closer to the door, noticing the sound of people eating. Dropping to my knees, I scoot towards the door. Looking through the crack in the doors, I see rotting trash piled high all around the room and on a large dining room table in the middle of the room. 3 figures painted blue by the same pale light sit around the table. The head of the first blocks my view of the other 2. I watch as they grab at the pile of rotting food between them, their hands tipped with needlessly long and slender fingers. They stuff their slop into their mouths before spitting the scraps into their hands, flinging them into the piles around the room. Can't help but watch as they continuously gulp food down. The creatures turn their heads to the door as if they know I'm here. Opening their mouths, they fill my head with a horrible shrieking, forcing me awake. Nearly choking on my own spit, I find myself sat on a damp mattress. Looking around, I see a door at the top of a small set of stairs. An eerie blue glow seeps through the crack in the door. Burning light. The cold air beat against the man as he wandered through the winter night. His red scarf resisted the power of the wind, desperately grasping onto his neck for survival. The night was frigid, but the man didn't care. He knew it would be worth it in the end. After 5 more minutes of painful steps, he finally caught the sight of his target, the lighthouse. The light on top burnt through the opaque fog and into his vision. It was like candy to the eye. Once the man had shut himself in, a warmth radiated inside. He spread open his arms and embraced the comforting heat. His gloved hand held the handrail firmly, and he began to traverse the spiraling staircase. Once he had made it to the top, he caught sight of the heart of the lighthouse. The beacon shouted into the night with its powerful gaze of light. He noticed the light was starting to fade. Eventually, the once powerful illumination was nothing but a dead beacon, consumed by gray and black. The man turned around and saw it. A large, transparent boat sailed across the dark ocean. It cut through the dark blue water, almost seeming to soar above it. It seemed to be a fairy, humble in size, but not in beauty. Its streamlined body perfectly navigated the waters, savoring its last moments of flight. Jagged rocks stood in front, acting as a rough boundary between the soft land and the gentle water. The sea was so peaceful that night, but it would all change very soon. Screams and commotion were heard from the boat as the front was bashed into a pulp by the merciless rocks. The boat began to capsize as people fell into the cold, clammy embrace of the ocean. The screams intensified as the boat began to split and crumble. The boat took people down with it, cutting through their flesh while doing so. People frantically tried to swim for land, but were consumed by the temperature of the ocean. From the lighthouse, the man's eyes widened as he put up a hand to cover his mouth. The screams eventually muffled, as once again the night was quiet. The ghostly figures of the boat and the corpses faded away, like a blurry vision. He looked to his left and spotted the cause of it all. A figure, cloaked in dark shadow, walked from the lighthouse, holding a crowbar. However, there was one undeniable feature that this figure possessed: a red scarf. It was him, past him. As the ghostly memory faded away, the man looked down and pulled out a scarf. His lips curved into a smile as he caressed the fabric. The Colosseum. If you should be traveling down the dusty, winding road of southeast Missouri, you may find yourself passing what appears to be an abandoned soccer field. Once you see it, get out of your vehicle and walk to the field. In the center, there will be a lone soccer ball covered in markings and footprints from games long past. Pick it up and start playing with it. Don't worry about looking foolish. Nobody can see you here anyways. After a little while messing with the ball, it should emit a glow that continually gets brighter. Once this starts, close your eyes as tightly as you can. You don't want to go blind. The ball will start to get warmer as well, but it won't get so hot you feel that it hurts to touch it. As soon as the ball stops being warm, open your eyes. You have now entered the land of the Colosseum. Descriptions of the Colosseum have varied from witness to witness. Some describe it as an abandoned, rotting baseball stadium, while others describe it as something that looks like a Roman Colosseum. No matter what you see, do not get drawn into the surroundings too much. You will now have about 60 seconds to leave the grounds, if you wish to escape. Once you're off, you'll wake up in your car's front seat. However, if you wish to stay, then do so by all means. I won't say I didn't warn you. Failure to escape within the 60-second time limit will result in what appears to be a beautiful woman descending onto the field and walking towards you. Don't be fooled by her beauty, for it is all a trap to lull you into a sense of security before she devours you. If you want to get out at all, ask her if she likes games. This creature happens to love games and cannot answer no when asked. Your vision will go dark for a few seconds and then rush back in all at once. What you will see is an environmental manifestation of your worst nightmare. It will be a seemingly impossible task, or a task that will mentally scar you for doing it. If at any point, should you seem like you might be succeeding in your task, the beautiful woman from before will begin to show her true form. She'll start rigging the odds in her favor, making the gargantuan task ahead of you all the more troublesome. Things will get more hectic, but you must not show any sign of quitting. She wants you to get tired. It makes it easier for her to eat prey that doesn't try to put up a fight. Once she realizes that you're not going to give up, she'll start attempting to rip the environment around you to pieces. Don't worry, she can't harm you unless you quit. Should you fail at any point during this or give up, you will be ripped to pieces and devoured by the beautiful woman. The last thing you will see is her true form, and then blackness as she rips you to pieces. If you can get past all of this, she'll finally reveal her true form, that of a hideous insect that resembles a cricket. You may be horrified and disgusted, but you must still press on. Once you complete your task, it'll all be over. You'll wake up in the front seat of your car with a soccer ball in the passenger seat. If you keep the ball with you, you'll have the odds in your favor in any decision. Court cases will result in you winning every time. Casinos will go broke over your skills at the game. The opposite gender will never turn you down. The downside is that you will have vivid nightmares about your horrifying task every night for the rest of your life, and you will be forever scarred with that inability to turn down any game of chance. I mentioned the odds would always be in your favor. That's only about 99% true, because there's only one game that your power will not help you with: Russian roulette.